baby. Well, it's that time again. Train-A-Palooza, one of our favorite train shows in Grapevine, Texas. And we couldn't wait to get inside and see all the fun stuff that was available. Here in the parking lot, they always have little train rides for the kids, but inside was really where we wanted to be. And this show is put on every year by the Lone Star High Railers. They're a club that specializes in O-scale. And one of our first stops every year is to say hello to the president of the Lone Star High Railers, Jim. Basically, you run the show.
I'm president of the Lone Star High Railers and also director of Train-A-Palooza.
Wonderful. How many years has Train-A-Palooza been going on?
17 years.
Wow.
We're sponsored by the city of Grapevine, Texas and the Vintage Railroad, amongst other sponsors.
How big is this show getting?
Last year we doubled in size and we're expecting to double this weekend.
That is so awesome. This is our favorite show. It's our 4th time to come, so we're really excited.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jim. You're always wonderful, and you always give us a good deal on stuff, too.
I appreciate that.
And so I'm going to show some of the goodies Jim has here. So Jim specializes in O-scale, but he also buys collections of any kind, and he does a great job selling old and new. Check out his website. I'll put a link in the description for everyone. One of the things I love about Train-A-Palooza is getting to meet all kinds of interesting people while I wander around and shop. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Keith Black. I'm the director of the Canton Belt Museum in Tyler. We are open Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 4 each day. We'd welcome all the public to come visit our Lionel layouts and our HO layouts. All right. Plus, we have lots of Cotton Belt information, lots of Cotton Belt artifacts that are there. With the H Roundhouse, I'm in Canton Marketplace. All right. Check us out there on the first Monday weekends. All right. In Canton Marketplace, not the pavilions, but the marketplace.
Perfect. And there'll be a link in the description. Check it out. So after talking to Keith, I wandered around a little more, and then I met this gentleman.
Hey, Jeff Cooper from Jeff H.O. Train Loads here in Grapevine, Texas. We just helped this young lady with a great MKT locomotive.
And I'll say he did. He saw me eyeballing it and offered me a discount on it before I could even start to haggle. I couldn't resist the deal he gave me. You can tell Pete hello.
Hi, Pete. How are you doing?
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. And I'll put a link in the description for everybody.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So after I gave Jeff my money, I figured it was as good a time as any to wander around and look at some of the layouts that were available. And this one here is actually built by the Lone Star High Railers that are hosting this train show. I'll tell you what, there is nothing that compares to all that busy rail action when every track has a running train on it at the same time. Isn't it amazing? Now the Lone Star High Railers have 2 other layouts. Those are more permanent. They have one that currently sits in the Grapevine Visitor Center, and their other permanent layout is located in an actual vintage baggage car that's located at 410 West Dallas Road in Grapevine. I'll leave a link in the description so you can find it. Another layout I also enjoy seeing is the one put on by Trainworks. It is pure eye candy for O-scalers. You look at every single thing on this layout. It's something that Trainworks themselves build. They're a company that can build you a layout or build you features for your layout. I'll put a link in the description. Roger, who is the owner and creator of Trainworks, he's been in the business for over 45 years, and you can tell that he puts his heart and soul into all the wonderful things they make. One thing I truly love about Trainworks is every time they show up at a train show, their table is always pretty low, and they do that so that it's at eye level for the kids. And they even let the kids learn to drive the trains. So it's a wonderful way to bring a new generation into the hobby, and it also gives them lots of fun. But now that we've looked at some layouts, let's go look at more stuff to buy. Tell us who you are.
Ron with Texas Trains.
Excellent. Well, Ron just gave me an incredible deal. I got a whole bunch of rolling stock and a locomotive. And thank you so much, Ron. And
I appreciate you.
I'll put a link in the description for everyone.
All right, awesome.
So we'd been at it all day long. We were hungry and tired. After dinner, we went home to look over all our goodies. So we'll start with Mike Webb, a husband and wife team. I got a couple of really great deals from them. They were so incredibly nice. First, this Pig Palace cattle car. Is that not awesome? I loved it. I couldn't refuse. Then I got this wonderful cotton belt with the Black Widow scheme. Didn't pay $89 for it, no. I actually worked out a much better deal. I believe I paid $80 for both pieces. And then we move on to Southeast Hobbies. These were really nice people as well. They had some very new, very nice stuff that was pricey, but they also had some fun stuff. And I figured we're gonna be doing construction soon, so why not have some construction equipment? Then I saw this Bachmann Spectrum, and it is a doodle bug, and it was only $25. I asked why, and they said, well, because it kind of needs to be reassembled. So somebody had worked on it, and it needs some work. But for $25, it can be a project piece, and assembly required. You should see what's under the shell. But still, I couldn't refuse a doodle bug. So now we move on to John's Hobby Shop, where I always find something interesting. So here's this neat little building. Whoever started it did a great job. It just needs some more work. I think I can manage it when I have time. But they were also having a big sale on rolling stock, so I kind of had to take advantage of it. So this wonderful passenger car, MKT, why not? It's beautiful. And it's in good shape, and it's blue box. Come on, I'm drawn to blue box like a moth to a flame. Moving on to the next item of business, this wonderful MKT. Look how nice it is. Of course, it's a kit. I have to assemble it, but it's beautiful. And you're starting to see a little bit of a theme here, I think. It's gonna get worse. Follow with me. And then here is a beer reefer. It's another kit, so some assembly required, but who didn't want a beer car? Come on. And then the next item up, it's just a box of parts, $2. And it's all kinds of parts. And who knows when I'm gonna need them. But for $2, it was sort of like a little treasure trove. And I kind of dug through it. Look, there's some little window glazing, just all kinds of neat little things. So moving on, then I got a couple more items. A wood reefer, MKT, and it's nice. It's already assembled. It's beautifully done. It's got some nice metal wheels, couplers or knuckle couplers, and yeah, we're going for a theme here today. And then another MKT, and here we go. Look at this one. It's already assembled as well. Beautifully done, metal wheels, knuckle couplers, and wonderful. This is a pretty item. And then we move over to my friend Keith Edmonds. I see him at every train show. He always has something that I like. He always works out a deal. And so this time we went for some old-time passenger cars. Kind of neat, but I have a project in mind for them. So something I can work with. And then we have this wonderful item, Spirit of America. It's an old Tyco, and I have something I haven't shown y'all yet. It goes with it. And then we have a Union Pacific kit. This is a diner car, passenger car. At least that's what the label says on the box. But there's some more assembly work to be done, and I'll get to it eventually. But he gave me a great deal. I couldn't turn it down. And before I squared up everything with Keith, I asked him if he had any MKT, and of course he did. So you remember this guy, Ron with Texas Trains? Well, he had some really great stuff. He had rolling stock that if it had knuckle couplers, you could get it for $3. If it had the horn hook couplers, $1. So I kind of went to town because some of these were really great. And I can replace couplers. I don't have a problem with that. And so all these fun things, most of the rolling stock, I had like 6 $1 items and then maybe a couple of $3 items. I mean, for the price, you can't beat it. $1 for a cattle car, give me a chance to practice some weathering tricks before I work on my favorite. And then, of course, we have a Ham's beer car. Easy to replace those couplers. Look, a Burlington Northern reefer. Why not? It was $1. And then there was this thing, no wheels, no couplers, and it came with these. And so he gave it to me for $1. I've got wheels, I've got couplers. It was really neat. So now I have a flat car with some trailer loads. And this was a fun discovery. The company made in the USA, and it's a kit. So it's a working locomotive, basically a kit as well. But all the parts are there. Look, the wheels are pristine. It looks really nice. I can't wait to get it on the track to see if it runs. But this will be a fun deal if it does work. Obviously DC motor, but it's pretty simple. Maintenance should be easy peasy. I love it. I'm real excited. So next we go over to Jeff's HO scale train loads, and he and his wife run this business. They go to several different train shows. Got this car, $20 instead of $24. But the next item, this is the winner of the show. This was what I was looking for, and Jeff saw me eyeing it, and then I kind of cringed at the price, and before I could even start to haggle with him, he immediately dropped it, gave me a good deal that I could not refuse. But this was what I was looking for. My buddy Pete over at Delph Junction, check out his channel. He recently got a gorgeous MKT locomotive, and he said, you should get one too. So I did. So I picked up a few other things from some other vendors, some of the club members that were selling stuff. This Armor reefer, who doesn't love Armor hot dogs? Another homage to HotDogPilot Andy. Of course, it was missing couplers, but then they gave me this pack of uncouplers. But, you know, it's okay, I'll go with it. And then I got horses for a couple of bucks. And then I got all these little buildings. Now, they're not fancy and they need to be finished, but, you know, this whole set of buildings, little sheds, little cabins. One of them even has little people playing checkers. Look, it's this one right here. And, you know, with a little work, they can actually turn into something kind of useful on the layout. And so all these little buildings, including this little hunting shed, camouflage, and this cute little garden shed, all of those together were $2, and maybe I can find a use for them. And then I saw this at one of the tables, and this was also one of the club members hosting the show, that they were selling this stuff. So I wanted the MKT, but they insisted I get the Frisco too. And then I said, well, here's 20 bucks. So then he gave me this Cottle car, then he gave me this UP box car, and then this old time box car. And all of that was still just $20. But that's enough talk. Let's get down to the fun part. Let's get this stuff to the track. And the first item up, what a win. Not only does it runs smoothly. It's probably one of the quietest DC locomotives I have. Oh my goodness, I love this. What a deal. And now for the Cotton Belt F7, the A and B unit, and it runs smoothly and beautifully. This is also wonderful. I did notice that there's no light in the A unit. I'm kind of a little disappointed, but it's not that the light's not working. It actually just doesn't have one installed. But both units are powered, and I'm really happy with this. This is wonderful. It was a surprise. I wasn't planning on it. I was just looking for a powered B unit, but I love it. And now for the best part of the day, Katie. Wow, isn't she beautiful? Look at her. I am so happy with her. She's sound, DCC, everything. She runs like a dream. She was brand new out of the box. I think this was the first time she'd ever touched a track, but just a wonderful locomotive. I couldn't be happier. So thanks everyone who stuck all the way to the end of the video with me. I had such a great time, and I got so many good deals. So drop me a comment, let me know what you think, let me know what I should look for in the future, or just say hello, because I love hearing from you. And thank you so much again. Make sure you remember to ring the bell. That's how Paxton gets her treats. And God bless all of you. Have a wonderful weekend.